1 cup of this speeds up digestion significantly. And this is not just me talking, there's data to back this up. But why is speeding up digestion important? In some ways, it almost sounds bad. It's like, why would I want to speed up digestion? It just makes it so that I eat more. Well, not when you're looking at the case of indigestion and a lot of stomach and gastric issues to begin with. If you talk to most people that are working in a health sector or researchers, they'll tell you that a lot of indigestion comes from what they call delayed gastric emptying, where things are sitting in the gastrointestinal tract too long. So long they cause a backup or they cause a problem. So 1 cup of this stuff has a tremendous impact on speeding up digestion, but it can also have a huge impact on blocking carbohydrate absorption. So it could have a cool metabolic effect that can potentially stave off insulin resistance as well. Let's go ahead and dive in. After today's video, a big thank you to Seed Daily Synbiotic. I put that link down below. That is a 25% off discount link for their Synbiotic. So it is a prebiotic and a probiotic in 1 capsule. So that means that you're getting a multi-stage delivery. So there's a capsule inside of a capsule. So probiotics are interesting, but Seed takes it to another dimension with this. So you get multi-stage. So you get the first capsule sort of dissolves, and then the next capsule goes into its next stage where it breaks down. So you're getting potential colonization in the right areas of the digestive system. That's for the proper colonization of the bacteria so that it can do its job. There's a lot of evidence on probiotics, but most of them are denatured and broken down by the time they get into our hostile gut biome anyway, our hydrochloric acid and whatnot. So Seed is very interesting with that. So if you're looking to improve your gut health, if you're looking to make some changes to your diet and you're just overall trying to change your, well, microbiome, then you want to check them out. And that is an exclusive 25% off discount link. And that is specifically for people that watch my channel. So that's in the top line of the description underneath this video, and a big thank you to them for the continued support on this channel over the years. So the World Journal of Gastroenterology published a paper where subjects fasted for 8 hours, and then at the end of that 8 hours, they had 1.2 grams of ginger. Now, this could be in the way of ginger tea, it could be in the way of ginger powder in hot water, and then they had them an hour later consume a form of soup, okay? One group had the ginger, one group had a placebo. What they found as far as gastric emptying was very interesting. So the group that had the ginger ended up having gastric emptying at a half level, meaning they emptied half of their gastric tract in 12.3 minutes. Okay, the placebo group was 16.1 minutes. And this is simply by having ginger before consuming this food. Now, how could this help you in practicality? Well, let's say, for example, you're fasting. Okay, and you break your fast and it's time to eat. Well, it would be a great time to have ginger so that you can actually get through more food and actually assimilate more nutrients. Gastric emptying is not just how fast something moves through so you can eat more. It's how effective and efficiently things are moving through. So there was also an increase in what are called antral contractions, and this is gut motility. This is the ability for the gut to actually contract and move food through. The contraction also helps break food down so you can get potential nutrient utilization and absorption. So the European Journal of Gastroenterology published another paper that was eerily similar to this and found the same thing. It increased gastric emptying and it ended up improving the antral contractions. So what does this mean to you and how do you apply it? Well, for one, if you ever get indigestion, you may want to consider having ginger tea prior to the meal. So although it can have a soothing effect, the soothing effect might just come from the anti-inflammatory effects of the gingerol and the 6-shogal, which could be great. But once you are armed with this knowledge, having ginger tea or a little bit of ginger before you eat something that would give you indigestion could be a precautionary mechanism that you employ to be able to have more slack with what you eat. Like, I want to try this with things that give me a stomach ache, things that I enjoy that might upset my stomach. It doesn't have to be junk, it can be anything, right? If I eat too many Brussels sprouts, I end up with a messed up stomach. Maybe I can have some ginger before that and it might help me out a bit. But what's interesting is there's also some research demonstrating that 6-shogal and the gingerols can be what are called alpha amylase and alpha glucosidase inhibitors. So in the same vein, it's funny, there's almost two opposing things happening. You're improving digestion and speed, but you're blocking the enzymes that allow starches to break down into sugars. So you have a carb blocking effect. So you get a digestive benefit, but you also get a benefit of maybe not absorbing as much carbohydrates from the foods that you're eating. thereby modulating glucose. So there's some interesting data that had demonstrated that there could be improvements in HbA1c, fasting glucose, and even improvements in insulin resistance. I find this personally fascinating as a society that's like faced with this epidemic of type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. Not only do we get a digestive benefit and anti-inflammatory effect, but we also might block the impact of the carbohydrates in the first place. So two mechanisms here and two things that you can do. Ginger tea prior to consuming a meal that you would get indigestion from otherwise, and ginger tea with or just prior to a meal that's going to have a higher amount of carbohydrates that you want to potentially lessen the impact of. So both cases you want to have them before, no more than 60 minutes before. 60 minutes is going to be as far as you want to get from the meal. So what you could do is you could even have ginger packets. Trader Joe's has little packets of ginger powder. You could have ginger powder capsules. You don't have to have straight up ginger tea. So as always, keep it locked in here on my channel. I'll see you tomorrow.